Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, I'm going to go over to BuzzFeed, and this is in the celebrities column. This is about Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein and Russian girls. After Jeffrey Epstein emails allege Bill Gates contracted an STI from Russian girls, Bill issued a statement. Um, this is his statement. Apparently, there has been a sizable amount of Epstein files that have been just released. I believe it was on Friday. And it's a lot of stuff that's going on. You got Elon Musk reportedly, from the reports that I've read, he basically said he really wasn't in contact with him, but they have emails from the Jeffrey Epstein files saying that it may have not been stated correctly. I don't know. That's just based on reports. But it says Bill Gates is responding to newly unearthed allegations in the latest batch of emails released from Jeffrey Epstein. Yesterday, millions of files were released regarding the late disgraced financier who died in prison in 2019 after facing some pretty serious charges. Upon their release, Deputy Attorney Todd Blanche signaled that this would probably be the last major drop regarding Jeffrey Epstein alleged crimes and relationships with famous people. Now, had Trump not signed that bill into law, then, this is going to be basically through courts. It might even come down to them, you know, getting an independent person to actually release the files because if this stuff is bad, I want to see what the other files be looking like. Okay. So yeah, this is pretty bad. It's an ongoing saga at this point. Um, yeah, and it says this would be the last major document drop regarding Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes and relationships with famous people. I wonder why. One of many documents released was a drafted email to himself regarding the Microsoft founder and tech billionaire circa 2013, in which Epstein alleged that Bill Gates had contracted an STI from Russian girls, as well as a further allegation that Bill had received antibiotics to disguise the STI from his then wife, Melinda French Gates. Girl, I mean, you pulled out at the right time, but that's just my opinion. Uh, in a statement to People, Bill Gates' spokesman said, "These claims are absolutely absurd and completely false." Okay. Um, the only thing these documents demonstrate is Epstein's frustration that he did not have an ongoing relationship with Gates and the lengths he would go to entrap and defame. Okay. All right. And that is the end of the article right there. But I just want to touch on the fact that um, his wife, Melinda, she has done some interviews or a interview where she talked, candidly about her marriage to Bill Gates and some of the issues. One being the affairs that he had. Supposedly it was in a tell-all interview. Melinda spoke of many things that led to her divorce with Bill Gates, including his affairs and meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. You know, I believe they were married for at least 3 decades, and she petitioned for divorce. Uh, Reportedly, she described the marriage as uh, irretrievably broken. Um, I believe the interview was done with CBS Morning. She was speaking out at that time for the first time about what went wrong. You know, in a quote, she said, "It was not one thing but many things that led to their divorce. I did not like that he had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. No, I made that clear to him." And this is an interview that she did with, I believe, Gail King. So, yeah, she spoke candidly about it. And she said, "I regretted it the second I walked in the door. Uh, he was apparent. He was evil personified. My heart breaks for these women." Okay? And it was just one of those things where um, I would encourage anybody to go back and revisit that interview with her, with Gail King. A very insightful, given the fact that he put out a statement saying that um, it only shows Jeffrey Epstein's frustration that he couldn't get a relationship with him. However, his ex-wife Melinda Gates, um, she told a different story. Um, Judging by the interview, I don't believe that it was out of anything in regards to being bitter. I mean, she spent 3 decades with the man, so obviously it had to be some type of love there. It had to be some. But again, like often, things in life, it has a tendency to break down at a certain point. From what I gather from the interview that she did, that she was strongly against Bill Gates' alleged friendship with Jeffrey Epstein in all forms of fashion. And, it's crazy to think that, you know, him putting out that statement, and then you go read the interview that she did with Gail King, and then the Epstein files is starting to be released, which again, how can you not release any more of the files when you you have to by law, because Donald Trump signed it into law. Some of the things that have came out, some of the people that have been named in there, even some of the things that Donald Trump himself has been accused of, um, is just a very hard, triggering topic to talk about. But in the interest of seeking justice for the victims, because let's not get sidelined here, that is what this is all about. The victims receiving justice, them having their fair day, and them also, in a way, being validated. Because a lot of times, several of the ladies that have came out and actually went to Capitol Hill spoke about not being heard, or if it was reported, it was kind of like sidetracked or sidelined or disappeared, or it really wasn't any motion or movement in terms of really seeking justice for these women who were young girls at the time. And again, I've said in several videos, it's a lifelong battle once you've dealt with something of that magnitude, you know? And, that's just something that you can't get over in a couple of years, especially when you have been wronged, especially when you have been violated in a way that some of the things that are being alleged to have happened to these young girls. You know, some of them, all of them deserve justice. And that's the most important thing about this. But as for Bill Gates, man, I mean, that statement don't, personally, in my opinion, the statement that he put out by his spokesman does not jibe with the actual statements that his ex-wife, Melinda Gates, said. I'ma just keep it 100 with you. It don't. Um, you know. And then for this to come out, it's just like, um, on some level, I would assume that it would just be like another betrayal for her. If I had to put it in a word or sum it up, another betrayal for her, even though their relationship is dissolved and she has clearly moved on with her life and he has clearly done the same. um you know to be thrusted back into the limelight, and for under these circumstances, um I can only imagine that it is a betrayal for her as well. Not only did she had to deal with some things in their marriage, a lot which I'm pretty sure she did not speak about, but what she did speak about gave us some insight into what actually, uh, her position, her view was in terms of the relationship, you know. Not as a whole, I'm not assuming it is as a whole, but certain points. Like she said in the statement to Gayle King, it wasn't just one thing, it was many things. But hey, it is what it is. But you guys, let me know what you think. Drop down in the comment section. How do you feel about the statement that was put out through Bill Gates via his spokesperson? And have you actually seen or read the interview that she did with Gayle King? Let me know down in the comment sections. I always love to hear from you. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I am so appreciative of you watching my videos. And if you have watched it to this point, thank you so much. But until then, guys, I will get with you in the next video.